It's week 9 and there's no time to waste. My unquenchable thirst for growth has led me to seek alternatives to the current diet. All in the name of the bulk, we'll be eating insane amounts of carbs. But the thing is, our goal is to not only become a strong, confident and assertive man, but also a top Radiant player on Valorant. So we need to make sure that progressing in all our goals aligns. And if carbs give me a feeling of lethargy every time I eat them, and then brain fog every time I don't eat them because I'm craving them, then I think we know exactly what has to go. First week grinding Valorant on the Carnivore diet. Get hyped, let's go! Monday starts off with a working shift, 7 till 12:45. I actually don't eat throughout the entire shift and eat my first meal as soon as I get home, eggs and cheese, before getting into the first gym session of the day. I ended up giving myself some kind of mild injury, which I have no idea, but it's pretty painful. The current gym split is just doing a full body workout 3 days every single week. All barbell exercises including squats, deadlifts, bench presses, etc. I'm making sure that even if I do gym in the morning, I'm only doing my arms, forearms and fingers after my Valorant training so that I don't interfere with that.
Feel really nauseous, like nauseous, hectic nausea.
Despite lifting heavier with better form than I normally do, it appears that day 3 I already no longer have the fuel in my body to fuel a gym session without wanting to munt. However, while I've still got some glycogen or carbs left in my brain, I decided to put it towards working on my raw aim and mouse control. Now that we're no longer crouch spraying and movement is no longer the bottleneck, we're going to commit to the Voltaic Daily Improvement Method. With its own skill-based ranking system, many people see this as the fastest way to improve your aim. Static clicking, dynamic clicking, precise tracking, reactive tracking, speed target switching, and evasive target switching. With mastery over all of these skills comes mastery over the way of the headshot. Now I'd love to master the way of the headshot, so I'll be devoting 1 hour every single day to the Voltaic Daily Improvement Method. And our first day today is dynamic clicking. I continue the protocols developed in last week's video, where we trained for no more than 20 minutes without having a 10-minute break to do either breath work or another mindful activity in order to process our learnings as fast as possible. The main points of focus today were flicking with explosivity and a bit of tension, but then making sure that when I land on the target I'm as relaxed as possible, ensuring that I'm not over flicking, and then throughout my training just making sure that all the muscles in my body are as relaxed as possible, especially the back and shoulders. I'm going to stop now because I've got so much pain in my shoulder. I just can't really focus on proper technique. After a few 20-minute sessions, I do end up calling it, but I've been starting to develop a stretching routine that targets all the different muscles that I use when I both game and train at the gym. Just something I can do every day on repeat and not really think about, and something that does the job. In an ideal world, I'd love to just stretch every single muscle in the body every single day, but that's a future thing. We'll get there. I have learnt all the gaming related stretches from the 1HP YouTube channel, and I don't only recommend checking him out, but you should actually commit to his exercises and his warm-up cooldown routines because they have had a massive impact on my aim and performance overall. So good. Now that my aim training is done for the day, it's now an optimal time to smash out my arm exercises for the day. So I replicate what I'm doing at the gym by doing 3 sets of roughly 12 reps and making sure that I go to complete failure. I'm also continuing to do the finger extensions with the same approach as well, and it's just because I've always had really shaky hands and I can't see how strengthening them wouldn't lead to more stability. After resting up a bit, I hop on to play some deathmatch games and get some extra practice in before bed. Now, I know I'm not the most accurate headshotter in the world right now, but every single bullet is perfectly timed and 100% accurate. I even started adding in those side steps for variation to really throw people off. And then of course I had to add in this clip because I literally felt like I was in the Matrix. They just could not hit me. It's so beautiful. I love this new movement so much. A quick quick mini update on the new diet and how it went day one. We've got completely stable energy levels without any crashes. Another thing is a massively noticeable increase in testosterone levels. The confidence I feel, urge to just destroy things and I just want to conquer the world is there. It's like, I don't know, I feel it. I feel so strong. Also, ladies, this next one is a men's health topic. Block your ears. My balls doubled in size. Literally, I have no idea. As of right now, mental performance is completely fine. It's just my physical performance. Like I said, I don't have the energy in me. It's like my body has drained out the last of the glycogen, the last of the carbs, and is now running off of nothing because it's still trying to figure out how to use the fat that I'm eating. Day 2 begins. Another morning shift, this one a bit longer, so I did need to find something clean to eat and went with a roast beef from Coles. After finishing work, I arrive home and end up smashing a whole bowl of scrambled eggs and cheese as well, before getting stuck into the next day in the Voltaic daily improvement method, which is static aim. With this session though, I'll be doing 2 minutes on and then a 1 minute rest instead of the previous 20 minutes on, 10 minutes of rest. Since static aim training is all about shooting still targets, my area of focus here is explosive flicks with straight and clean lines between each and every target. Immediately after hopping off, I start playing an NSDR script and fall into deep rest in order to fully optimize our learnings for the day. The calm state of mind that just silently aim training and putting breath work in between was just really peaceful, and it ended up fueling me to try and test myself in meditation, see how long I could go for without a timer to tell me to stop, and it ended up being about 20 minutes before I get stuck into doing all my stretches for the night, so I'm pretty proud of that. Day 3 comes along and with it comes an entire day off of work, so I get stuck into warming up the house, before bringing back the drink of domination. For today's session, I warm up my hands in hot water, calm the mind with some breath work, and then get myself ready for learning by intensely focusing on a single point. The reason for staring at a single point is it's just like a little trick to increase dopamine before a session. Anyways, today is finally all about precise tracking, which is just the key to non-shaky aim, good mouse control, good crosshair placement, and good tension management. And I definitely found it to be a mission to keep my shoulder relaxed while I track, which is probably a part of why I get so much pain. Today I opted for the 20-minute to 10-minute ratio for my sessions rather than the 2-to-1. I found that it allows me to get deeper into focus when I'm in that actual session. Best part about this method is that once I come back from the breath work, I feel like I've already downloaded so much of the skill into my subconscious memory. Like my aim immediately feels smoother and I'm immediately able to just aim better. I've really solidified now that it's a strict requirement for me to do an NSDR session after my training because I've just noticed it helps the improvement so much. But since I've got no work today, even after smashing out an hour of aim training and 30 minutes of breath work all up, I'm left with plenty of time to go and do some manly things. I make a whole bunch of new friends, I enjoy some cool views, and then I engage in one-on-one combat with Mother Nature. I haven't googled proper technique yet for tree slaughtering, so I'm not sure. I'm probably doing heaps of things wrong, alright? But after a good smash, my reward, cooking myself some eggs and cheese. For the second session of the day, I was starting to feel quite drawn towards playing a duelist like ISO, because at this point I just have an unquenchable thirst to just murder everyone. In-game of course. Instead of playing my regular deathmatch, I play team deathmatch, which allows me to practice his abilities and see how I like it. And overall I was having a good time, so it's definitely something I'll start to think about in future. For my next carnivore meal, I ended up trying a lamb roast for the first time ever, and I was really happy with it. The only thing is how long it took. It takes like an hour and a half, 2 hours to make, so that sucks, but it was delicious. The gym has also come a really long way since I recorded my last session. Since I've been stretching my hamstring as much as I can, I've been able to get deeper into my deadlifts without bending my knees like a squat. And this alone makes me feel them so much more. It allows me to comfortably go heavier with my weight. However, I do make a massive discovery when I was performing my squats. What I do is lower the weight and then remove the little micro rests between every single rep, just going up and down in like a piston motion. And by the end of my 12 reps, I genuinely could not walk. I apply that to not only my rows, but every other exercise and get the exact same results. So that's something I'm going to do in future. My energy levels were actually starting to increase so much now. It felt like my body was starting to use the fat as fuel for my exercises, and I was not only using it and getting more out of my workouts, but I was also starting to crave the fats after my workouts. Upon arriving home, I warm up the house again and get stuck into my third and final Valorant session for the day. Using ISO's abilities was starting to become a much more natural and fluid thing, and I started to really enjoy it. As well as the areas that I've been practicing throughout the week were really starting to show in my Valorant aim as well. I was no longer over flicking as much, I had that pulse of tension with relaxed and soft landings, and just my accuracy was improving 100%. Since adding the wrist, fingers and forearms into the gym split, I've noticed way less shakes in my hands overall. This would be a massive contributing factor to the increase in control and overall smoothness that we're seeing in the mouse control now. Which means the only thing that's left to improve is the shoulder pain and the shoulder tension management problems we're having. I was feeling quite stuck with those until out of nowhere, a legend descends from the clouds, giving us a glimmer of hope. Rear delts could be the missing link. I immediately start learning the reverse dumbbell flies in order to try and target a potentially weak muscle. I knew straight away that this was the missing link the second I couldn't even lift a couple kilos without struggling harder than I would a 30 kilo deadlift. So this is definitely something we're going to add into the daily routine. I will give you guys an update later in the video to see if this actually does help. But shout out Zerka for giving us a hand, and as the community grows, this is just going to be a group effort for everyone to just get stronger together. So if you have any ideas, throw it in the comments, throw it wherever you want, do whatever you want. But this is sick, this is really sick. With just one day left until battle, every second now counts. I start my day with a 10-minute breathwork session to clear the mind and prepare myself for the day ahead. I craft my learning speed enhancing drink of domination, which I drink to some blue light therapy in order to combat sunlight deprivation. And with today being another day off of work, 2 in a row, we get stuck into our Voltaic aim training for the day, which is reactive tracking. Reactive tracking plays a massive role in all FPS games as reactivity is so important. The difference between today and yesterday's training is that the targets now switch directions rapidly and you have to maintain your smoothness while reacting to its unpredictability. I do stick to my 20 minutes on, 10 minutes off protocol, but this time start to develop a small resetting routine that I could perform between each scenario. The idea is to open up my chest, take a deep breath, smile, be grateful, savor the moment, stretch all the hands and feet, and really isolate where too much tension is building up in order to try and increase our tension management skills. The idea is just to become as self-aware as possible by rapidly resetting and reflecting on the last couple minutes. This is something I could not only add to my aim training, but also Valorant in general, including my actual ranked games where I could mute the audio, relax, fully reset, and then go into every single round fully fresh. So this is something I'm trying to ingrain into my brain. After the final hour of aim training for the week, I reset my mind, staring into the fire a bit, head over to the shops and buy myself some lamb, some clothes and a steak to fry up when I get home, and then I attempt to get stuck into my final Valorant session before we go to battle. However, with each day passing, the brain fog in my mind was progressively getting thicker and thicker and thicker. I pushed through and ended up getting a good deathmatch in, but that was it. That was it. After just 10 minutes, I was completely depleted of energy. This was not a good sign. But hey, I mean, the aim training seems to be paying off, so just wait until we get the cognitive boost of the carnivore diet's full potential. Then it's game over for the OCE servers. But no, we'll stay humble, stay humble. But yeah, seriously, the carnivore adaptation phase was starting to become a challenge. I think at this point I've no longer got any glycogen or carbs left in my brain for my body to use, and now it's just simply forcing itself to try and learn how to use fat as fuel. So come on, Ketosis, hurry up. From planning my day to optimizing cognition in a desperate attempt to fight the brain fog, I was still feeling the high testosterone effects of the carbless diet. That meant that more than anything, I wanted to go to battle, I wanted competition, and I wanted to win. At this point, battle was inevitable. Hear the music. It is time for battle. It is time for domination. Every single bit of practice we put in this week is leading to this exact point. Where are my glasses? Concept not even my deepest intuition could warn me about. Don't play one of the most cognitively demanding video games when your brain is not functioning properly. I am not joking when I say I forgot how to plant the bomb. Like I just couldn't do it. The fog that filled my mind was so thick it felt like I had no knowledge of how to even play Valorant. It felt like I didn't have access to the subconscious knowledge database, that all the work I put into my movement, my dead zoning, my first bullet accuracy, my raw aim, I just couldn't use it. I immediately regret my decision to play ISO. If I'd played Sky, could have at least used our playbook knowledge. The whole reason we played Sky in the first place was to take the pressure off ourselves to perform at some insane mechanical level every single game, and at least support the team through utility usage and teamwork. But I couldn't even do that on ISO, a character built around mechanical performance. The game was doomed. The game was doomed. From failing to holding angles, to misplay after misplay after misplay, this loss was deserved. I'm never playing ISO again. I actually didn't even shoot a single orb. I did not shoot a single orb, I swear. Waste of time, ruined my beautiful match history. I had no game plan, no idea what I was doing. The dumbest shit I've done in my life. Here we go, bring back the sky, bring back the sky. You see, what I don't realize is that it's not the agent creating this mess. It's just the carnivore diet adaptation phase running its unfortunately brutal course. Maybe with some better metacognition skills we could have avoided these 2 queues, but there's many valuable lessons to take from these. I feel brain fogged out of my mind, like insanely brain fogged. So disappointing! I definitely didn't look at the bigger picture when I decided to start my carnivore diet. This week was my first week back from annual leave, so I could have waited until I was at least readjusted to the lifestyle. But at the end of the day, we did just full send a carnivore diet, so who actually cares about Valorant when something so big for health and mental health, physical health? Who cares? Like, honestly, our time to become rank 1 in Valorant will come eventually. It'll come eventually. There's no rush. There's no rush. I'll see you all next week, next Sunday. I'll try get it out earlier in the day, I promise. Take care.